Hi there and welcome or welcome back. This is part 2 of making either a basic altered file folder journal or a beginner's altered file folder journal. So yesterday we made these two flips. So we just put 3 envelopes on, and I've decorated this one and put the tags in and joined them together, so that is that side kind of finished. We've still got this one to decorate. Now if you saw last week's video when I was showing the new project packs which go with the Meadows kit, I made this one up, which is a pocket full of pockets, and I thought how nice would that be to go there. So you could open it up and then you'd also have that pocket full of pockets. So that's going to go on one side. I thought we'd talk about you know, because not everybody's going to have this or a kit that would fit together to do that. So what else could we do? So I thought we could do 4 envelopes down the side, like a waterfall pocket thingy, and I'd do them so there was like the same size, so that could go underneath. Again, I would hinge all these and seal them up, and I would probably I might have downward pockets actually with little tabs on, so then you could pop them up, pop them up, pop them up, pop them up. So that's one idea. Could also do like a policy envelope here. I've got videos on that. You could just put one envelope or one big pocket down there. So just, you know, sometimes I'll do lots of little elements on one side, but to keep it simple, I just thought if you just do one thing which fits underneath here, so you've got quite a lot going off, just yeah, instead of it being all over. So what else I've done is I've turned this file folder, it was that way, so that bit would have been in the inside, and I want it on the front because I want to use that as a pocket. I might use that as a pocket as well. So I think we ought to think about putting the papers on this. I'm going to put a journal here, so we're going to want a bit of a what do we want? A bit of a spine. So to make it easy, I always just fold it down. I don't completely, you know, do that. I just fold it so I can clearly see where the middle is, and I think about 1 inch will be plenty. You know, the journal's gonna have about 10 pages, so that's 40 sides, so we don't need, you know, a massive spine. Plus we want to, you know, allow some space for the things inside. So I think about 1 inch will be fine. So let's pop that there. Ugh. I hope it's on. Oh, lovely. So it's on a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to go a 1/2 inch at the side. Yeah, I always do that. Do it a couple of times, so we've got a nice crease, and then I'm going to go half an inch the other side of the middle, so then I've got a nice inch. So obviously this makes your space smaller because we've just cut it down by half an inch each side. So I would fold that and give it a good press down. You can do it, I mean, often I'll just do it with my finger. Some people do it with scissors. If I happen to have a bone folder in my hand, I will do it with a bone folder. But we're just creasing that spine in like so. Okay, so that's our spine. Okay, I think we decided on the papers in the last video. So I'm going to have the green on that side, which I think will look nice just surrounding that, and that one on there. So I'm going to cut the bottom and the side and the top off, just so, well, I don't, yeah, I'd like to keep the top. So I'm not going to cut the bottom off, I'll just cut the top and the side off. And then I will measure. Don't measure often. Okay. Now, sometimes I mat it that, you know, there's like a millimetre all the way around. Sometimes I totally mat it so there's nothing around the sides. Sometimes I do it a little bit more, you know, natural. So it just depends what you like. Now, if I was doing it that I didn't want anything round the edge, probably the best way to do it would be to put it in, but it would have been best to cut the bottom of the paper off and just cut round and then mark it there, and then I would know that that's that. I don't think I want to do it like that. That's just torn, but we can mend it. So how am I going to do it? I think if I get a rough measurement, so, oh brilliant, it's 9.5. So I'm going to turn it on its back and do it at, so 9.5 is it from top to bottom. Now, if I wanted any gap in, you know, at the top and the bottom, so I'm just going to go 2/8 up from 9.5. So 1, 2. So that's the height that I want it. Okay, I should be able to just do this with my small trimmer. So let's get that bottom cut. So that's that one. Now, this side will be shorter, and this is, it's like 9 1/8. So if I go 1/8 above the 9, that would do that one. So again, let me take this top and side off. So 1 mark before 9. That's the height I want it. Now, with this picture, because it's got an image on it, luckily, it's at the top. Now, if the image was more down here, I would probably take some off the top first and then off the bottom. But because it's so high up, I can just take it from the bottom. So that is that. So one above the line is there. So we've got as lengths. Okay, so that's those. I'm not going to save that because I don't want the bottom, but I am saving that. So got his lengths, hopefully. And then obviously we would place it so the gap there and the gap at the bottom was, you know, kind of the same. Okay, so now we want to find out what his width is. So we'll do it on this one. So, see, this is why I don't measure. I'm not very good at what's what. So let's say it ends there, and if I went 1, 2, so it's 1 after 6.5. Yeah, 1. So it's there. 1, 2. So 1 after 6.5. Okay. So I'm going to do it from that side because I want that picture to be on that side. So if I measure there, and we said 6.5, but one up from it is there. Okay, let's measure this one because this in theory should be the same, and it's not really. Why is that not? It should be, shouldn't I? Am I saying that's 1 above 7? Yeah, that's strange. Yeah. Oh, I know why. Because I redid the crease. So actually, it's... So that's now going to be too short, isn't it? It wants to go to there. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, because I've not cut it. Ignore me, ignore me. Right, so make sure when you measure, you're on your actual crease. Oh, dear me, what a tutorial. So, that's a 7, 1. It's 1 below, above 7, so 1, 2. 2 above 7. I hope that makes sense. 2 above 7. So it's there. Right, let's cut them both at the same time. So that I would have liked to have kept that writing, but I don't think it's. Yeah, I'm going to cut it from that side. So if I place those together, I don't know if they'll fit in the trimmer actually, because that one's a bit taller. And make sure they're together. No, it's not. Ah. Okay, so I've had to get the big trimmer out. I've not bothered, you know, folding it out. So let's make sure that they're together first. Okay. just move that in just a touch more. That's it. We're still together. It's not the easiest doing two at the same time. I don't know why I do it to myself. Yeah, let's leave it at that. Okay, so they're fine. I'm going to ink around both of them, and I'm going to ink around the perimeter and down those grooves, and then we'll be able to get those stuck down. We've got to take into consideration this bit. Now, I know a lot of people cut that off, which you'd want to cut that off before you did your spine, because that would bring the measurements in. I normally do, I've got the 10mm. I don't think that's, I'll have to go around that with my scissors. Okay, let's see what that looks like. So I probably want to go something like that. A little bit more. To be honest, I always just forget to take that off. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so that's that part, and then obviously we've got this part. So if I just pencil around there. The only thing is I'm going to have to put it in here, look. So I've just brought it away from that score. And a bit from the bottom. Okay, just holding that while I place that down, and then if I just draw around here and here, I should be able to get that let's have a look at that. So I just want to shape that around, and when everything's been inked, everything will all blend into each other. Okay. Just need to go in here just a little bit more. That should be better. Lovely. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm going to do that. The next thing we want to think about is, do we want to reinforce this spine any? So I know I'm only going to be putting about 10 pages in. If I was putting a lot more pages in, sometimes I've put some chipboard or cereal box, you know, made made a piece and stuck it there. Sometimes I put some tape in the middle as well. I think because I'm doing 10, I might put some tape in the middle, and then I will be putting some lace on the outside, and I'll probably put some lace on the inside, so that will be totally sufficient to keep, you know, a small journal in. So this is the shortest side. No, it's not. Yes, it is. That's the shortest side. So that's where I want to put the tape, because obviously we don't want to see it over the long side. This is just craft. Oh, I love how it's all stuck on itself. It's just craft tape. I will go just over there. And let me just cut it off roughly for a minute. And then I did have that little tear up there, so I shall just put some across there. If you've got Tyvek, you can use Tyvek. Some people would put linen kind of material down. You can put lots of things down just to give it a bit more strength where we need it. Yeah, come on. Don't think those scissors light that. So that's the front, isn't it? And that will be covered up with paper anyway, so that's not a biggie. So we've got a bit more strength there now. I will just crease it back, but with it being a paper tape, it you know, it's very pliable. It behaves. Okay, so that's the spine. Okay, so I'm going to use the Victorian velvet, and I've got it the wrong way, haven't I? That's the front, that's the back. Okay, I'm just going to go all the way around the perimeter. I'm bringing it in slightly, so I'm having my hand to the side and then straightening it up a bit just to get it to come in, you know, deeper. So rub it across the edge. That's it. And then I know that will cover those bits, you know, with this 1/8 around. You might want to see the craft colour. It's not craft, is it? I'm doing a manila one. You may want to see the manila colour, and the manila would go very nicely with this kit. But yeah, I would like to see this pinky ink instead. There we go, all the way around like so, and then I'm going to bring those spines in, which will help me when I'm laying my paper as well. You can see where the crease is, and then I'll do that one. Okay, so I shall do all around the front, and I will do the 2 papers that I'm going to be laying down in the middle. So there we have it, look. That first line that I did, that was off, which is why I did that second line. I should have really inked before I cut the papers, because then I would have clearly been able to see where those scores was. It makes it a lot easier to line up. But you know, we forget things, and it doesn't, there's always a way round, you know, whatever, you know, like I tore that slightly. There's lots of different things you can do to cover your mistakes or redo something and what have you. It's not the end of the world. You know, I could have thrown that, well, not thrown it away, but I could have used a new file folder and done them creases again, but it really doesn't matter. That other crease is going to be covered up, so that doesn't matter. It does keep getting trapped on there, but once that paper's done, it'll be fine. Right, I'll be back in a tick when all that's inked. Okay, so everything's inked, and I'm already thinking, how am I going to close this? What's my closure going to be? Because am I going to want to stick these down? I don't think it'd make much difference putting the insides in, but as soon as they're in, I'm going to be thinking, right, do I decorate the inside first, or should I think about my closure? Because if I wanted to use an eyelet, and I've put this flap here, which I could either put under here or over here, my eyelet, the back of it, would come out here. So then it would make it impossible, you know, an eyelet wouldn't be an option. Now, if I really wanted to use an eyelet, I could think, well, I could position these pieces in the middle. So that gives me enough room here to pop an eyelet in. Another closure, what I would consider is, before you glue any of this down, you could glue something in there, which would come out there, and then, you know, it would tie here. So all I would have to do is do that before I stuck this down. Another one is, I could cover the front, and then I could have a topper, so like a big piece, a bit like a cluster in a bigger format, and lay material, you know, like sari, seam binding, ribbon, string behind that, and then that would hold that. So, you know, there's not much difference in any of them. I wouldn't say for this kind of project there's any pros or cons. Sometimes if you've got something coming out of the middle of here, it can pull on this paper slightly. So, you know, that's an issue. I don't do that very often anyway. So I would either go with the eyelet or the topper. So I think with that in mind, I'm going to bring my pieces to the middle, and then that would leave me later on the option to either use the eyelet or to use the topper and to put the tie on that. And I think having them in the middle would look very nice. Okay, so bearing that in mind, I don't want buttons. I like to use these wider ones. So if I had it, say, there, obviously you don't want it going over, so you need enough room for it. So that would be there. So if I just press, yeah, that would be plenty of room. But I would definitely have to have it that it's, you know, same on each side, and then that would allow for that hole there. So that's what I'm going to do. Where did I get this from? Where's the ting gone? It's under there. There you are. Okay, so must remember, put the pieces in the middle. Okay. Right, so let's get the papers down on here, and then that's that part done. So because I'm going to put lace in the middle, I'm thinking more, let's get this side nice and straight, the top nice and straight, and the bottom, and I'm not too worried about any gap here because I can cover that up. So I bear that in mind. The glue that I'm using is Collage. It's a wet, runny glue, which is great because it goes on easy, quick, you know, because it's nice and liquidy. It's a little bit cheaper than some other glues, and because you're using it on, you know, big spaces, that's also, you know, a factor. And it sticks paper to paper lovely, and it gives you some slidey time that you can position your paper without having to worry. Look, I've just popped it on, no worries in the world. And it gives you that few, I don't know if I'd say few minutes, but a good, you know, a good time to give me time to go all the way around and make sure it's how I want it. Sometimes you want something that dries a lot quicker, instant, which then I would use Fabri-Tac. But you know, it's very expensive, especially when you're using it on big spaces. So I do go for the Collage. I don't know if it's available everywhere, but in the UK it definitely is. So okay. So again, I want to make sure that this side is more right than this one. So, and that's another thing I do. I look at the paper first before I even put the glue on, to just give me an idea of how it's looking. And any mistakes, you can cover them up, and you can cover them with lots of things. You can use washi. You can, you know, just cut another strip of paper and pop it on top. You've got lace. You could make some kind of edging. I've got videos on different edges. I'll just bring that up slightly. Yeah, I'm happy with that. For me, everything doesn't have to be, you know, exact. I'm not an exact person. Obviously, I don't want it wonky woo, but you know, I'm fine with it not being perfect. And like, you know, that's very imperfect, but it won't be. So I'm happy with that. Love the papers. We know that this has got to be middle. Now I mustn't forget that this is part of it as well, because if you look at the paper, I'm thinking that's middle, but it's not. It needs to be more that way, because that is part of it, and that will give me a bigger gap there. Now I did put this paper clip on here, but if I'm gluing this down, I don't think the paper clip will be right there. So I'm thinking, I don't know what it was doing. I think I'd just put it on for, oh, it was holding that one. So this is the new add-on kit number 2, and this is in my shop, and it's a pocket full of pockets, or a pocket of pockets, I don't know. I don't know what I've called it. So I'm going to save that, pop that somewhere else, so I can lay that flat. And I want to think, am I gluing this behind here? Yeah, I think I am. It makes it bulky on that side, not overly bulky. I could definitely cut down somewhat. So if I bring it in, I don't want to bring it in too much, because you know I need something to stick down. And I'm just going to take that corner off slightly, and let's get the bone folder and give it a really good press down. So I don't think I did do that when I made it on camera, because it was just a quick, you know, this is how you make, well, not how you make the kit up, because the pocket, the project packs are, yes, there's a way that they've been designed to use, but they're, you know, you can use them how you want. So I'm going to stick that onto there. So do I want it at the bottom, or do I want it middle? I think I want it middle, so there's part of it all the way round. So, and for this I'm going to use the art glitter, because this has obviously got a really thin tip, which I need because I want to get, you know, the glue all over this flap, so we've got good connection on it. It also sticks very quickly, so you've not got to, you know, hold it for very long. It's very strong. It doesn't leave, it dries clear, so if you get it on anything else, it does dry clear. So I'm going to have to bring that in just slightly. Just hold that down enough that it's going to stay there while I check that. Yeah, that's fine. So let's go back to the back. Back to the back. And I'm just going to press that down. So yeah, like I say, it is a bulky piece, but you've got to think you've got you know, a flip and a pocket. We've got a pocket, a belly band, a pocket inside, a belly band, a pocket inside, another belly band, and then we've got a pocket here, a pocket there, belly band, pocket, writing space, pockets. So to say how many pockets there is, obviously this hasn't been fully decorated, so we will be adding a little more bulk. So it's not bulky that way, but down this part it is. But because we're going to have it on both sides, the bulk and a journal in the middle, it will kind of I don't know what the right word is, but it'll be all right. It'll be fine. Right, so let's just, again, I don't normally measure, but because we've got this funny this funniness going off, so if that was 1/2 inch from there, oh, okay, it's not gonna, let's do it, and then I have to go from inches to centimeters just because that's easier. Okay, so it's about 1.5 centimeters. So if I make sure when it's glued down that that side is at 1.5 centimeters. Yeah. So I'm going to totally cover the back in the collage. Yep. And we'll put some art glitter just on these. I'll press that down in a second. Just right on the edges, just to make sure it catches. And I will still get some slide because the collage is on as well. It won't be as slidey. Let me just press that down because that was sticking out. Okay. So let me get this here at 1.5. So okay. I can't really see it's where I'm sitting. So that's 1.5. That's 1.5. Let's stand up. So it's off a bit there, isn't it? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So just to make sure that this back is all contacted, I'm just going to lightly go around the edges, just to make sure while that glue is drying, that it's nicely connected, you know, paper to paper. So probably would be easier if I took those out. So if you didn't have like a pocket kit, or you don't know how to make one of these up, you could always just do this kind of pocket at the back. So this is just you know, this kind of thing with 2 pockets on. So I think that's all connected very nice. So let's pop that there. And that there, that there. Okay, so that is that down, and we've got enough room here to put as lace on. It's not too close to where his journal's going to be, and we've left some room in case we use an eyelet closure. And that's one side of the file folder totally done. And you know, it's a really interactive piece, lots of writing space, great for, you know, those little quotes, memories, birthdays, ideas, that kind of thing. You can just, you know, pull a card out, and you know, you can always then change your cards. I prefer that kind of writing. You know, sometimes you might just want to write passwords and all kinds of things. So I do like the pockets and the cards. So that's that side, and that side is totally covered. I'm going to leave the video there because I don't want these to be too long, because if you are following along, you're not going to want, you know, loads of information. And I'm loving it. So when we do this side, we'll see a lot more of the paper as well, and this will flip out, and then we're going to have the kind of waterfall here. So what I'm going to do before I film the next one is, because if you saw yesterday's video, you'll know how I did the hinges. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to seal the envelopes up, put the hinges at the top, and I'm going to do this. I stenciled it in the Victoria Velvet, inked around the edges. I did some stamping. I think I went in with the archival black, and then I splattered it with bundled sage and the new lilac one that I've got, the shaded lilac. So I will get those done, and I may as well cover the fronts as well, because we covered those ones. So I'll do that. Let's have a look what papers, because if you remember, not only is it a basic or beginner's tutorial, I'm also using all what's left from making the 6 new project kits up, because I wanted to see what I could make with just the leftovers. So I don't know. That's very nice. That's peachy. So I've got some pinks in there. Now which pink goes better, because we've got quite a few pinks in there. So I might do one in that. I think that goes better with that. Then let's tone it down a little bit. So I'm going to do 2 in this one in that, and 1 in that, to cover those. Some of the fronts will have the splatter, and some of them will have the papers, and you know, same for the back. So they're the papers that I'm going to use. I've still got loads of papers left, and I've still got lots of things to decorate and what have you. So that's it. I shall see you, the ladies who's in the collaboration, they start tomorrow. I think it's Deb Harper who is starting us off. I will put all their links are down below, and I'll also put it in the featured in the Facebook group, and I think that's it. Okay, don't forget the main kits, which was out last year. They're on sale at 25% off, and the new add-ons are in the shops now. And all that detail will be down below. Let's put this back on just so I don't forget about it, because I want to include it in here. Okay, so that's me for now. See you, well, I'll see you tomorrow, but I'll be back next Saturday, because Saturday is my day for the collab. So hold tight, you've got plenty to do if you're following along. See you soon. Bye for now.